Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video report, we're going to discuss the overview of Japanese literature. I am Nasria Limba. So before we're going to Japanese history, I'm going to define first the Japanese literature. So Japanese literature examines works of literature such as stories, novel, poetry, and plays to research the workings of the human condition in Japan. Loyalty, obligation, and self-sacrifice compromise by human emotion and affected by elements of the supernatural are major themes of classic Japanese literature. So Japanese literature throughout most of its history has been influenced by cultural contact with neighboring Asian literature, most notably the China and its culture. In Japan, they have their own writing system. Japan has mainly two types of writing system, the kanji and the kana. The kanji, which are ideographs from Chinese characters. So ang term na kanji sa panitikan ng mga Japanese ay nangangahulugang hand characters. So bakit ito tinawag na hand characters? Dahil noong unang panahon ang gamit nila sa pagsulat ay isang braso o panuno or panulat sa kamay. So isinulat ito sa Japan gamit ang parehong mga karakter tulad ng sa traditional na Chinese at parehong tumutukoy sa system ng pagsulat ng karakter na kilala sa Chinese bilang Hanji. The second one is kana, which is pair of syllables consist of hiragana and katana. So hiragana, which means ordinary or simple use in native Japanese words. Hiragana is used for changing meanings of kanji by adding a hiragana character after the kanji. So, ang hiragana ay ginagamit upang baguhin ang kahulugan ng mga salitang kanji sa pamamagitan ng pagdaragdag ng isang karakter na hiragana pagkatapos ng kanji. Ginagamit din ang hiragana tuwing hindi ginagamit ang mga karakter na kanji. Hiragana is also used whenever kanji characters wouldn't be used. Hiragana can be used to express and write all Japanese words without the use of kanji since hiragana is like an alphabet. And the last one is the katakana, which is a poetic alphabet and was originally considered as men's writing. Ang katakana ay ginagamit din for emphasis especially on science and advertisements. So now, let's move on to the history of the Japanese literature. There are 6 literary periods we will going to discuss. The first literary period is the ancient literature. The second one is classical literature. The third, medieval literature. Fourth, early modern literature. Fifth, post-war literature. And the last one is contemporary literature. So the first one is ancient literature. Ancient literature was up until the year 794. During this period, they don't have their own writing systems, which deals to adapting the Chinese characters. During this period, the earliest works were created during the Nara period. So sa history ng Japanese, ang panahon ng Nara ay ang panahon kung saan ang imperial na pamahalaan ay nasa Nara. At ang Shintoismo at Budismo ay lubos na umunlad. Kojiko and Nihon Shoki are the example during the Nara period. The earliest examples of a story which involves time travel is the Urishima Taro. The second literary period in Japanese is classical literature. Classical literature was up until the year of 794 until 1185 years. So when we say classical Japanese literature, this usually refers to the literature produced during the Heian period. So some people consider this time a golden era of art and literature. And the example of a greatest masterpiece of fiction from this time period is entitled The Tale of Genji, which is written by Murasaki in early 11th century. So there are also other important works of this period includes the Koken Washaku in 1905, Waka Anthology, and also the Philo Book in 1990s.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rahila Pedtulusan and this is the continuation of Limbas report. So our topic is about Japanese literature. So we already heard in the Limbas report that 794 is dun palang nagsisimula magkaroon ng literature dahil wala silang sarili system of writing. Hindi kagaya sa iba is meron na silang sariling own originality. So kung wala itong mga naka-impluwensya sa mga Japanese is wala silang writing of system. So tapos na natin yung ancient of literature, dito na tayo sa medieval literature. So Zen Buddhism had a great influence of medieval Japanese literature, and many of the writers were priests, travelers, or ascetic poets. So when we say na Zen Buddhism, it is nanggaling to sa China. So itong si taga China is malaki itong ambag o impluensya sa mga Japanese about sa literature. And also parang napapansin naman natin na parang may pagka-similarity ang China and Japan. Especially also the culture. Di ba parang magkapareho sila? Hindi lang yung ang na-impluensyahan ng mga China yung literature ng Japanese, kundi pati yung culture din is na-impluensyahan din. So, dito na tayo sa Tale of the Hiki. 1891, an epic tale of the war for sovereignty of Japan between the Minamoto and Taira clans Hizki by Kamo no Chimi and Churegusa by Yoshida Kenko. So, itong Tale of Hiki is, ito yung sikat na literature ng mga Japanese. That is all about war, pag-aagawan ng power. So, ito yung sikat ng mga panahon na ito. So, dito na tayo sa early modern literature. So, the literature of this period was written during the Tokugawa period, which was characterized Edo period. So, Chikamatsu Monzamen, Ozururi, and Kabuki dramatists rose to prominence around the end of the 17th century. So, when we say kasi na Tokugawa period or the Edo period, it is about yung mga namumuno sa country ng Japanese. Ang tawag, like di ba may pa-era-era yung sinong namumuno sa isang bansa is may tawag doon. So, ang tawag doon sa namumuno is itong si Edo period. So, ang namumuno dito, which mean is yung mga sundalo. Sila yung may nasusunod na gusto. So, in this period, ang pinakasikat na writer dito is si Matsubas. So, ang kanyang mga sulat is Oko no Hoshimichi, A Travel Diary. So, siya yung sikat na writer noon, Edo period. So, ang na-impluwensyahan ng early modern literature sa itong Japanese is yung fiction. Kasi di ba dati is yung pag nagsusulat sila ng mga novels is yung mga katotohanan. Yung anong nangyayari sa kanilang bansa, kung paano sila magpatayan, masyadong mga brutal. Pero ngayon is hindi lang nakatutok doon, hindi lang nakafocus doon yung literature. It's also about the imagination. Kung paano bigyan ng writer ng kulay yung kanyang imagination. Yung hindi makatotohanan na ginagawang pakatotohanan para mabighani ang mga mambabasa. So, that also influenced the Japanese literature.